The soda can doesn't come into the world gently. There's no quiet moment, no slow beginning. It's born in a factory that never sleeps, a place of machines and heat and noise so constant that the workers stopped hearing it years ago. It starts as a flat sheet of aluminum, thin, unremarkable, cold. A machine punches out a small circle from that sheet, just a disc. That disc gets pushed into a steel tool, moving at a speed the human eye can barely follow. And in less than a second, it's no longer flat. It's a cylinder, tall, hollow, open at the top. The walls are thinner than you'd believe, barely there, but sturdy enough. The can moves down the line. It gets washed, dried, coated on the inside with a layer so thin you'd never know it was there. Then the printing. In seconds, a plain silver shell becomes something recognizable, colors pressed onto its body, a logo, letters, a brand, an identity it didn't choose but will carry for the rest of its life. And just like that, the can exists, empty, clean, ready for whatever comes next. It gets stacked with thousands of others, every single one identical. The can arrives on a conveyor belt, upright, perfectly lined up, and in a fraction of a second, dark liquid rushes in, fizzing at the top, filling it to almost exactly the right level. A lid drops down from above, pressed on, locked in place. The can is sealed for the first time. It's not just a shell anymore. It has weight now. It has something inside it worth protecting. A camera inspects it, looks for leaks, looks for anything wrong. The can passes, the ones that don't get pulled off the line quietly. Now the can becomes a number. It gets grouped with 11 others and packed into a cardboard box. That box gets stacked on a pallet with dozens more just like it. Row after row of pallets line up in a warehouse under lights that never turn off. Hundreds of thousands of cans. The can sits in that warehouse for a day, maybe two, just waiting for the doors to open. The truck comes at night. A forklift slides under the pallet, lifts it, loads it into the dark. The doors close, and suddenly the can is moving 60 miles an hour down a highway, surrounded by thousands of others that look exactly like it in complete darkness. It travels through the night. Hours pass. The truck stops. The doors open. Light again. The can gets unloaded, resorted, loaded onto a smaller truck. That truck takes it to a grocery store or a gas station. A worker carries the box inside, tears it open, places the cans on a shelf, one by one, or drops them into a refrigerator that hums quietly in the corner of the store. The door closes. The can gets cold again, and it waits. It waits for hours, maybe days. People walk past, reach for other things, don't even glance at it. The can just sits there, and then a hand wraps around it. Someone lifts it off the shelf, walks to the register without thinking about it. Maybe they drink it right there on the sidewalk. 10 minutes later, it's empty. The can gets tossed, and it lands in a trash bag with yesterday's leftovers and crumpled paper and everything else. The trash bag ends up on the curb. A truck comes in the early morning while the street is still dark and quiet. It swallows the bag whole, crushes everything together without caring what any of it was. The can, which traveled hundreds of miles, which was shaped by machines running day and night, is now just garbage, riding in the back of a truck next to everything the world threw away. This is where most cans end their story, buried in a landfill, slowly breaking down over 80 years, never really gone, just forgotten, but not this one. Someone sorted the recycling. The can ends up in the right bin, gets collected, taken to a facility where machines sort through everything looking for what can be saved. The can gets found. It gets crushed flat along with thousands of others, pressed into a dense brick of aluminum that looks nothing like what it once was. That brick gets melted down, and here is the moment. That same metal, the same material that traveled across highways, turns liquid again, glowing bright. It gets poured into molds, cooled into a slab, rolled thin, punched into a disc, stretched into a cylinder, washed, printed, and somewhere in a cold refrigerator, in a city, a hand reaches out, and the whole thing starts again.